please make your way to your seats. Our presentation is about to begin. As a courtesy to others, we ask that you please silence your phone and other devices.
This is incredible. Good morning and welcome. I'm GC Leonetti, Chief Commercial Officer here at OpenAI. We're excited to be here in London, a city that's become one of the most important hubs for AI research, policy, and deployment. We've been investing heavily here in the UK and across Europe. We now have offices in 6 cities, and we're continuing to grow our teams across the region because building AI is deeply local. And we want to be here, on the ground, working directly with British and European companies and governments. The UK is a big part of that commitment. We've been fortunate to work closely with the UK government over the past year. And today, that partnership is taking a huge step forward. We had data residency in Europe for some time. But today, we're announcing UK data residency, supporting the needs of UK developers and public sector teams. As part of this partnership, we're rolling out ChatGPT to thousands of civil servants and employees in the UK Department of Justice, helping them drive safer, more efficient public services. And I'm really excited to share we have a special guest with us today to talk more about this partnership and the opportunities ahead. I'm honored to welcome the Deputy Prime Minister, the Right Honourable David Lammy MP, to the stage. David? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, GC. Very grateful. I was given the opportunity to speak at this conference, and of course I jumped at it. I jumped at it because I believe with absolute conviction that AI has brought humanity to a new technological frontier, one with the power to transform how we live, how we work, and of course how we govern. We stand then at the edge of something quite vast, something that Sam Altman arrested a gathering of leaders with a few years ago when he said that he believed that AI was like the invention of fire for human beings, something that will shape the destiny of our nations and certainly the British people and the daily lives of every citizen on this planet. As Foreign Secretary, technology was at the heart of my approach. I announced plans in January for an upgraded data science team to inform diplomatic work at that stage and liberate our diplomats from their desks so that they could spend more time immersed in their posts, and announced a counter-hybrid task force so that diplomats could be ready for a new age of technology-driven subterfuge, particularly. And in a speech back in Singapore in July, I called AI a paradigm shift in power, one that will reshape geopolitics, recast economics, and determine who projects influence in the world. We know that our adversaries will use any edge to undermine open societies, sadly to entrench repression and spread disinformation. We also know that organised crime is also utilising AI models to turbocharge their scams and get rich quick at the expense of victims, particularly in large and small. And we also know that both rogue states and rogue traders have one simple goal: to hoard power and wealth in the hands of a limited few. But now, as Deputy Prime Minister, with a cross-government view, looking right across government, I'm even more convinced that governments and corporations who seize AI faster and more robustly will surge ahead, and those that hesitate will fall very quickly behind. I'm also convinced that if used well, emphasis on used well, AI can help to rebuild trust in the state, badly needed. Trust in our politics, delivering what people really want. Shorter waits, fewer errors, lower costs, and better outcomes. But if we want to achieve all that and ensure Britain continues to lead in the world, we must make AI operational. We're moving fast. I'm proud that we have one of the most ambitious AI agendas in the world. Just look at the Prime Minister's AI Opportunities Action Plan, a bold blueprint for making the UK a global leader in AI. Our landmark multi-billion-pound tech prosperity deal signed with the United States, the key underpinning of that just last month, and a rollout of AI growth zones, serving as hotbeds of AI development and creating jobs across the country so that every region benefits from this technology. Tech pioneers agree that we are leading the world on this. Jensen Huang, the co-founder of NVIDIA, said recently that the UK is on its way to becoming an AI superpower. But to operationalize AI for the greater good, we must begin with a clear diagnosis. What is going wrong, particularly with our public services? And the reality is this: parts of our bureaucracy have become bloated, they've become too expensive, they've become too unproductive, to the point that too often they fail to meet the needs of the people that they're meant to serve. And let's be frank, public sector productivity is still lagging, certainly behind pre-pandemic levels, and that's not good for anybody. It's certainly not good for the people of our country. AI in this sense can be transformational, and I don't say that simply with hopeful optimism. I say that because of what AI is already achieving in the public sector, both on the system-wide level and at the very front line of service delivery. So let me start with AI Consult, a fantastic tool which analyzes responses to public consultations in a fraction of the time that civil servants would normally take, meaning that policymakers can identify key issues across the system and act sooner. There's also DERM, an AI-based device for analysing skin lesions. It's used to triage patients with cancer, and it potentially frees up capacity and reduces waiting times for those patients at hospitals up and down the country. There are hundreds of green shoots like this sprouting up across government in different ways. But if we're going to bring about a public service revolution in our country, we need an AI ecosystem to take root and to breathe new life into our overstretched bureaucracy. And as Deputy Prime Minister, I'm determined to deliver that shift. At the same time, I recognise that the pace of change is unsettling. AI so recently has become a fact of science. It's difficult to ignore the dystopian warnings of science fiction that are out there, and that when we give up too many of our tasks to machines, we risk losing our humanity. People are rightly a little scared of a future in which AI takes the intellectual lead, where computers write poetry, where humans do drudgery. But I believe just the opposite. AI can enable us to be more human, not less. Let me just take an example from my own department, which is taking the lead in Whitehall at putting AI to the service of the public. The probation service. This is a really important service, working with offenders, working with prisoners right across our country, in every neighbourhood, every community, attempting to help prisoners and offenders turn around their lives, reform and lead productive lives. The probation service is currently trailing something called Justice Transcribe. One of the AI exemplars sponsored by the Prime Minister. Built by the government's own leading engineers, it records and transcribes probation officers' conversations with offenders automatically. It cuts hours of work to transfer handwritten meeting notes into digital systems. That means that probation staff can spend more of their time doing the things that only human beings can do. A computer or an AI model cannot turn around offending behaviour. Only a wonderful probation worker can do that. But what it can do is transcribe and work to record the notes of those thousands of meetings taking place across the country, working with offenders to protect the public, person to person, face to face, eye to eye. And in fact, 80% of probation officers surveys said it improved engagement with offenders, making it easier for them to read important changes in body language and tailor their approach to meet particular needs. This kind of technology frees probation officers to do the things that they signed up for, which is effectively changing lives, cutting crime, and protecting the public. I'm very privileged to have Anna Dixon and Charmaine Fox with us today. Where are they? There they are. Stand up. Can we just say thank you to our wonderful probation workers? Go on, show them an applause for what they're doing for our country. Thank you. I think their testimony demonstrates the power of AI handling the routine tasks at lightning speed so that people can take their time over what really matters. And I'm thrilled to announce the expansion of Justice Transcribe. The Ministry of Justice will equip 1,000 more probation officers with this technology so that they can be more human, not less. And we estimate that using AI in my department can save around 240,000 days of admin every year, the equivalent of freeing up around 1,000 members of staff in our frontline workforce. That's time that they can reinvest in rehabilitating offenders and keeping the British public safe. And it's astonishing the impact that it can make. And we have similar ambition throughout our public services. If we get this right, if we embed AI across government, across every system, across every service, I believe that we can rejuvenate 150 years of British state enterprise in the next 15 years, possibly even sooner than that. And that's huge. But where there are opportunities, there are also risks. We know that data is the beating heart of AI. And as a responsible government, we must ask the right questions about how British data is being used, i.e., where is it going? Who has the sovereign control over it? What will they use it for? If it's your health records, you would require the government to ask those searching questions. So I'm proud to say that, driven by its broad partnership with the UK government and with the Ministry of Justice specifically, OpenAI is expanding its UK data offer by introducing data residency, giving British customers and developers the option to store their data on servers right here in the UK. And that means under British laws, with British protections and subject to British oversight. And not only will it give greater confidence to the increasing numbers of people in the UK using OpenAI software, but for those who have so far hesitated, this could convince them that their data is secure and that they're safe to take the AI leap. It will strengthen our digital resilience and turbocharge our economy. It's yet another milestone in our plan for change. So the UK government will do what it takes to unleash the extraordinary promise of AI. And I see that promise in this room, across the UK and throughout the world. People investing in the future, scientists, executives, politicians, AI working together in the pursuit of innovations that can transform the way that we deliver services. Collectively, we're also alive, of course, to the perils that AI could be weaponized against open societies to create chaos from which a nefarious few will benefit. Leaders in the public and private spheres must react, of course, to that. And if we do, we can instead set AI on an epoch-defining course to ensure new technology leads to global progress. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman once said, AI will be the most powerful technology ever created by humanity, and it has the potential to improve every aspect of our lives. I couldn't agree more with that. It can transform our societies, making us more human, not less. But we must operationalize it safely and securely, and to do so as quickly as possible. I'm convinced that the partnerships we're building today can ensure AI secures a better tomorrow, and we can expect the UK government's full support, with each of us playing our role in that endeavour. Thank you so much for listening to me this morning.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. That was incredible. It's great to see governments not just talking about AI, but putting it to work. What's happening here reflects a larger shift. AI is moving from the sidelines into core workflows across businesses, governments, and research. Let's take a look at how we got here and then what's next. For years, most people met AI through a chatbot. It helped build an answer to a question, maybe summarize a memo, possibly create an image or two for many of you. We saw big breakthroughs in math, coding, and separate from how critical work got done. This past year, that all changed. AI went from something teams experimented with to something they build with every single day. We've entered the intelligence era. Models can now reason, plan, and action on our behalf. Enterprises and governments are now deploying intelligence like electricity, a utility flowing through every system and every workflow. AI is becoming a new operating system. This means every person can do higher impact work. Imagine, an engineer can use Codex to automate code reviews, catching bugs and suggesting fixes in minutes. A designer can use ChatGPT with Canva and Figma to instantly create marketing and sales assets aligned with your company's brand. An analyst can use connectors and deep research to merge data with tools like SharePoint to create real-time dashboards right inside ChatGPT. AI is moving from a tool to a teammate, working alongside you to build, analyze, and create. This is where agents come in. An agent is built on three things: intelligence,